Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of my Killing Floor Class Guide series, where I provide basic tips and tricks and general overviews of the 7 different classes available for use in Killing Floor. Now you might think that in a game where you can use sniper rifles, rocket launchers and automatic shotguns, melee weapons wouldn't see much use. Well, you'd be wrong. Here is the guide to the Berserker. The Berserker is the team's melee expert. He dives into the fray, slashing away with all kinds of bladed weapons, so he gains bonuses towards using melee weapons and his own survivability. The Berserker's bonuses for melee weapons improves their damage and swing speed, and also grant him the ability to move faster while holding a melee weapon, and as with every other perk he gains discounts to the trader for all his on-perk weapons. The Berserker's survivability is enhanced by resistance to all types of damage that can be inflicted on him, and similar to the medic he also gains an extra resistance to bloat bile. And at all levels the Berserker cannot be grabbed by clots, helping to prevent him from becoming trapped within a horde. Another small bonus is that the Berserker can extend Z time by killing specimens while the slow-mo is in effect. And finally, upon reaching level 5, the Berserker spawns into a game wielding a machete, and at level 6 the Berserker spawns in wielding a fire axe and also wearing body armor, although this body armor is not granted when playing on suicidal or hell on earth difficulties. Now on to the weapons, and the Berserker has quite a colourful array at his disposal. On-perk weapons for the Berserker include the knife, which is given to every player upon spawning, the machete, the fire axe, and both of these weapons can also be found spawned randomly across the map, the katana, the claymore, and everyone's favourite zombie killing device, the chainsaw. Through the purchase of DLC, the Berserker also has access to a couple more weapons, the scythe and a natural ranged weapon, the buzzsaw bow. There is also a bonus weapon available for those who own Dwarf's game on Steam, the Dwarf's Axe. Although for the benefits of this guide, which is written with new players in mind, I won't be mentioning these weapons across the guide. To level up the Berserker, all you need to do is deal damage with your melee weapons. That's it, no special things needed, just kill specimens with melee weapons and you'll level up the perk eventually. So now, all of the good things about being a Berserker, aside of course from being able to chop those ugly specimens into little pieces, well, with their bonuses towards their melee damage, their swing speed, and their damage resistance, high leveled and skilled Berserkers will be able to quickly cut down the bulk of specimens and absorb a good deal of damage for their teammates. They are also the only class able to stun large specimens such as Skrakes with melee weapons, and this is one of the main methods you can use to kill a Skrake. Carry a powerful weapon such as the katana and repeatedly strike the Skrake in the face, just flinch lock it and quickly kill it before it's able to retaliate. A high level Berserker carrying a melee weapon is the fastest player in the game, and this has several benefits. You can get around the map and into contact quicker, you can easily kite the specimens, striking them then quickly getting out of range of their attacks, and also quickly retreat in order to heal if you take too many hits. The Berserker is also one of the cheaper classes to maintain. While melee weapons can be quite expensive at low levels, they do become reasonably cheaper once you begin to level up. Also, they don't require ammunition, so the money that you can save that would have otherwise been spent on ammunition, you can put towards your equipment or donate it to teammates so they can buy better gear. Of course, despite these bonuses, the Berserker is not an easy class to play and has several weaknesses. One of the most prominent being due to its near complete focus on melee, the Berserker is very vulnerable against ranged specimens, in particular the Husk and the Siren. The Husk can snipe the Berserker from a distance, and the Berserker has to get close to the Siren in order to kill it, where the Siren's scream can damage his health past his body armor. Crawlers, the little small insect-like specimens, are going to be a major annoyance for the Berserker, because due to their small size and quick speed, they're going to be difficult to hit with a melee weapon without good timing, and they'll chip away at your body armor and health over the course of the round, and make it easier for the other specimens to swarm you and kill you. As a berserker, you'll usually be first contact with the specimens, and as a melee class, learning how to avoid their strikes is a crucial skill. Although the berserker has strong damage resistance, you will not be able to withstand continuous punishment, especially on harder difficulties. Berserkers can usually solo the first few waves pretty well, but on the later waves, when the specimens start getting more numerous and tougher versions begin appearing, they'll often struggle to stay alive without the support of other classes, in particular the medic, unless you're a very, very good berserker. The berserker's melee focus is also a problem when facing down flesh pounds. Unlike Scrakes, they can't be flinched with melee weapons, so you're going to need the support of teammates in order to take them out, or use some pretty nimble hit and run tactics if you're facing them down alone. So, with the strengths and weaknesses considered, some tactics that you can use in order to use the berserker to its fullest potential. Rectifying the berserker's weakness at range is certainly a good start. In the early waves, your 9mm pistol should see you through just fine, but on the later waves and certainly on the harder difficulties, it's a good idea to bring a off-perk weapon, since melee weapons are usually light enough to allow you to carry a second gun. One good choice is the lever action rifle. It's cheap, it's lightweight, and it's still quite powerful even when it's used out of the sharpshooter perk. If you engage crawlers in melee, unless you have impeccable timing, it will usually be difficult to kill them before they can scratch you, and this can chip away at your armor over the course of a wave, so it's generally better to engage them at range with your pistol. If there's a large group of them, you can always throw a grenade into the group, since due to their low health, one well placed detonation will certainly kill off a large group. When holding a melee weapon, be sure to use your movement speed boost to your advantage. Strike the specimens, then quickly backpedal before they can retaliate, and you can use this to chip away at the health of the bigger specimens. This is a technique that you can use if you're soloing a flesh pound. Use the melee weapon with long reach, and kite the flesh pound, striking it, then quickly backpedaling out of its reach. As long as you're careful and patient, you should be able to kill the flesh pound without causing it to rage and charge you. Team play is of course very important. Even the best berserkers will no doubt take a few hits on the harder difficulties and higher waves, so sticking by a medic will certainly help, since they can give you a quick boost of healing if you take damage. And it's also useful to stick by a commando or a firebug, as their weapons are well suited to taking out those annoying crawlers, so you can focus your melee strikes elsewhere. One thing to take note of if you're trying to flinch lock a Scrake is to avoid the ones which are on fire until they extinguish themselves, as the afterburn damage from the fire can interfere with your flinch locking and give the Scrake an opportunity to strike back at you. Also, don't just swing at the specimens randomly. Aim for the necks of the specimens and swing just before they hit you. And with this you should get reliable decapitations on all the regular specimens such as clots and gorfosts and stalkers, although the stronger specimens might not be so affected. Now on to the things that you can do to help a berserker who's on your team. If you see a berserker in combat with a Scrake, don't open fire. The berserker can continue to stun the Scrake with his melee attacks and kill it without taking any damage, unless you cause the Scrake to rage by shooting it. Simply focus on taking out specimens who are going to attack the berserker while he's killing the Scrake. Also, unless you're desperately trying to heal him, don't stand directly behind the berserker while he's in combat. A berserker needs room in which to move around and avoid the specimen's attacks, and if you block his movement he might end up taking unnecessary damage. Also, try to refrain from killing specimens that the berserker is about to engage. He's going to quickly get frustrated if he's charging all over the map but all of the specimens are being killed by someone else before he can make contact. Although I'm sure most berserkers wouldn't mind if you took out groups of crawlers for them, since they're usually the bane of their existence. So I'd say that's all the basics that needs to be known. Just a quick summary of everything we've gone through, then a final wrap up. The Berserker is the melee specialist of the team and can be found on the front lines beating back the Horde. Their focus is entirely on melee weapons, and they gain bonuses enhancing their proficiency with these weapons and towards their own survivability. They gain significant damage bonuses for melee weapons, which eventually culminates in a double damage for all melee weapons. They can swing melee weapons faster, which increases their DPS, and they can move faster while carrying melee weapons, which helps them kite and escape if things get nasty. They gain very sizable resistances to all kinds of damage that can be inflicted on them, and they also can't be grabbed by clots, which helps them survive much longer when under attack. But the Berserker is not an easy class to play, as their entire focus is on melee, which means without the aid of off-perk weapons, they have little to no ranged capability. Engaging the specimens in melee means they have to become very proficient at dodging attacks, especially on harder difficulties, as their damage resistances, while strong, are not enough to withstand continuous punishment. Crawlers are going to be a major annoyance due to their small size and their quick speed and ability to leap, and flesh pounds are going to be a major threat since they can't be stunned by melee weapons. They have a high damage output. So I'd say that's about it. All you need to know in the basics of the Berserker. Certainly not an easy class to play, but quite a powerful one when used right. I sincerely hope you found this guide both useful, informative and enjoyable, and please do leave feedback in the comments below regarding whether you actually found this guide to be of any use to you. And don't forget, you can check out the Killing Floor wiki for more detailed information about everything in the game. I'll put a link in the description below, as I have done in the previous guides, and you can check it out from there. So that's about it. I only have one guide left to do, the Demolitionist. Certainly be quite interesting recording footage from that, but no doubt enjoyable as well. And after that, maybe I'll consider going on to more detailed information about the weapons themselves. But that's for the future. Maybe I'll write up some plans. But anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Farewell.